Welcome to the August 14th, 2016 Guitar Blog episode on rock metal guitar licks using the perfect inverted and diminished intervals. Now in this lesson we're going to be working on phrasing ideas that cover different intervals involved in the style of rock and metal guitar. And there's a lot of variation to how these intervals are applied in this style, and it's important that we try out different applications of them in a number of different situations. We'll look at the use of perfect fifths, diminished fifths, inversions of the fifth, which is also known, of course, as a fourth, and we'll also look at how we can combine these intervals into really interesting rock and metal guitar parts. In the end, I think you're going to have enough material here to move forward with that'll help you begin writing your own guitar parts with these different intervals. Okay, so we're going to blast through this first example. It's a really cool sounding idea of taking single note lines in metal where you have a fifth and you stack it through a series of them on the neck. So in example one, what I've done here is taken a stack of fifth intervals from within the key of A minor. And we're going to go off the key's tonic of A at the fifth fret of the sixth string. And we're just going to stack fifths on top of one another. So our first stack of fifths will go from the A to the E, and then we'll go from the E up to a B. Then we're just going to shoot up a half step just because it's easy and it keeps us in the minor key. We're going to come off this C note right here and jump up a fifth. So now we have a fifth. We could do that fifth up here, but it's kind of out of position. So we're going to do it up there instead. And then we're going to grab another fifth above that. So we've got quite a few fifths going on here. It's kind of an interesting stack of notes. So we have that starting things off. And then we're shooting down more out of a basic pentatonic scale to kind of wrap things up. Then we're just going to wrap it at the A, 10th fret of the second string. So we're just using some pentatonic there to wrap things up. But it's a neat sound, you know. I'm going to kick the distortion on again. And you can mess around with, fooling around with maybe a riff, get a riff going of something. This is in A, so you could just use key of A. Mess around with a riff idea. Maybe have something like that going on, and then just try to inject the lick in and around that. Just have some fun messing around with all those ideas like that, and eventually it'll become a fairly natural thing for you to do, to stack those fifths and maybe flow it through some of the natural minor if you want to, or whatever key you're working in. Move it around the neck, of course, to get really good at it. But it's a pretty cool idea that you can transfer to many other locations of the neck, but this should get you started off on the whole concept. If you want to learn the modes and get a really good understanding for how they can be used musically to write songs, play a solo, or compose melody lines, then you're in luck. My ebook, Using the Major Scale Modes, is a comprehensive manuscript outlining exactly how modes are used in respect to harmony and to compose or improvise melodic ideas. Over 50 pages of scale patterns, example progressions, and music theory all come together to create a comprehensive method on how to use the modes that's easy to understand. Using the Major Scale Modes is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com. Well, let's take a look at example number 2. This is going to be more of a blues rock descending with a whole bunch of diminished fifth ideas going on in it. Blues scale has a lot more to do with rock and metal than just being some commonplace scale that a lot of guitarists would use to just get started with learning how to even play a solo with. Blues scale is really important and has a big role in producing a lot of the lines that we hear in rock and metal. And one interval that is paramount in producing the connection into this style is diminished fifth, especially with metal. This lowered fifth sound is used in almost every type of rock tune. And here in example 2, I've got a guitar part that takes the lowered fifth and applies it across the notes of an A blues scale. Now, almost everybody out there knows the blues scale. So that's fairly familiar sound and idea to most people. But what's different is when you're putting things into the context of rock, especially metal, things are moving fast. Licks move pretty quick when you're dealing with metal, especially. So you need to have this control over the steady stream of 16th notes generally that you're going to find, sometimes even in introducing 32nd notes, just depending on the tempo. Now, what's happening with this lick here is we're moving through things from the 3rd string. We're starting off with this 16th note triplet idea. We're just moving up that pentatonic through some of those blues tones there, and we're going to roll off of the flat 5 a lot right here, that diminished fifth. So you can really hear those flatted 5 notes. So the flatted 5th is located on the 3rd string at the 8th fret. You can also play it on the 2nd string at the 4th fret in the key of A. And there's another one down lower. It's down here. And we're going to use that one at the end after we're going through the finishing measure. Here it is. You can hear I'm using that 6th fret, E flat. That's the diminished fifth. And that's being utilized right there. So, basically the whole lick goes like this. And just like we were discussing, with the other licks, it's good to put together some kind of a basic riff in the background. I could just use something off of G and A, do something like this maybe. Repeat that. And have that going on, with in between the lick. And, just have that as one riff you could try. There's all kinds of things you could do, of course, with this to inject this, riff around or sound around any kind of riff, really, as long as it's in the key of A and it has the right groove and you can, implement it. I think you're going to have a lot of fun working on this kind of an idea. So remember, the lowered fifth is going to be an E flat in the key of A. For example, if you were in the key of G, it would simply be a D flat. So just move around through some other keys, understand the location, how it looks, get the perspective together, the geometrical shape on the neck. But more than anything else, try and get the sound injected into some of these, rock and blues, rock, metal, punk, whatever style you're playing that's got a cranked level of distortion on it. You can just inject this sound into it quite easily. Well, thanks for watching part 1 of this lesson. Be sure to sign up for a membership at creativeguitarstudio.com to watch part 2. In there, we're going to be looking at octave and perfect fourth licks, along with using combinations of both diminished and the perfect fifth ideas. And you know what? If you're a member of the website, you're also going to be able to download a handout for this lesson plan. So I'll see you next in the members area at creativeguitarstudio.com. The Blues Guitar Styles ebook is a masterclass course covering a huge amount of information on the blues style, with 8, 12, and 16 bar blues progressions, classic blues styles, plus all the important chord patterns. There's over 50 pages of information, including sections on blues techniques like slide, alternate tuning, and bending. This ebook has everything the guitar player needs for a solid foundation in blues guitar, including 27 MP3 audio tracks for easy at-home study. Blues Guitar Styles is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com. Thanks for watching. Click here to subscribe to the Guitar Blog Update YouTube channel and never miss another video. Click here to sign up for your free membership to creativeguitarstudio.com. And if you take out a paid membership, you'll get premium content downloads of jam tracks, lesson handouts, and full access to all the members area video lessons.